hate when outside influences.
All right, passenger. Is that really? Oh no, the Marshall is next.
Yeah.
S, and then the passenger. Now the passenger, I am a big fan of.
But it's a side quest. It's the filler
It blew
episode.
my mind that people were responding to this as, "Oh, this is a side quest. This is filler."
We should probably stop engaging with media made for children. But
Stop engaging with Reddit. Number one.
Even when I got rid of Reddit, I went to check Reddit to see what they were saying to get myself mad because.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who gets? Think they're clearly referencing
great.
vibes.
The spiders are great, clearly. Which.
Great episode.
You go back, you can see that it was the day the episode came out. We played Star Wars 5e, and I brought in those spiders. The tree in the center begin to crack and unfurl and start to move. And you realize this is not your average gnarl tree, but the knobby white spider phase of its life cycle. I had already planned. I have the Discord receipts that I had gotten the idea to use them. I did get the idea to use them from somebody else on the Star Wars 5e Discord because I was looking for like extra like
All
other.
right, hey, focus.
Point is that the spiders in that are awesome.
Yeah,
they're a little
great
cooler in
use of
Star Wars
them.
5e. Anyway.
Would you just fucking finish your plug?
Point is, I love them. They're very freaky, and like the fact that he crash lands on the ship on the planet, and then like is in a situation where like shit's not gonna work. Like he's stuck here, and then they have to figure out a way out. That's like a classic like Star Trek style episode.
Yeah.
Like, we land on a random planet. We have to figure out our way out. We find some weird wildlife, whatever, and you have to survive. That's a great episode.
It's very funny that it's all caused by. I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily caused by Baby Yoda eating the eggs, but it certainly doesn't help that he just eats the eggs, and that's when we go to like Apex Predator. Really, you like it better than the pilot?
You know what? No, you're right. I don't like it more than the pilot because it doesn't.
Do you like it more than the ATST episode? I think I would put the ATST episode above. I actually think I would put this at the bottom of A tier. Yes, I would. I would.
It
wouldn't.
The only thing is that it does feel a little short. It does feel something about like the amount of things that happen. It does feel a bit short.
I hate that his ship gets destroyed. He's stranded alone on this planet. Or maybe he makes it off. And the next episode, his ship is completely fine. There's a built-in counter argument with what happens later in the season, but my ship is destroyed. I need, while they're making repairs, I can't use it for 1 or 2 episodes now.
Well, he can't use it for that episode. He can't use it during the Eris episode. It's being fixed.
Yeah, I would have liked one more. That's what bugs me though, is the Eris. He doesn't do anything that different. Like nothing really changes because
really
he doesn't have the Razor Crest. I mean, we're splitting hairs here. I think it's fine in A. I mean, it belongs in A. I think it's fine where it is.
I'll put it there.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's fine. Next up is the Siege, which is the
Grief Karga.
Oh god, this one is the one I forget the most. I feel like maybe it's like.
I'm with you.
B or C.
Baby Yoda's exceptionally cute, which, as you know, always bothers me.
Oh yeah, he's in the classroom.
I do like that he's a bully. He steals.
I like that he's mean. It's season 3 of Mando, and we'll get there. But like, it really lost that Baby Yoda's like a menace. He's a huge little asshole.
Yeah, which is what makes him.
Which is you like it. You like it. I mean, I think. You can speak to this more. But I feel like, Muppets are funnier. Lowercase Muppets are funnier when they're kind of
100%. Muppets are not sweet. Muppets are very like chaotic and quite rude and
yeah. Yoda was rude.
Yeah, Yoda was a little asshole. And he's stealing his food and he's hitting R2 with a stick.
Even in The Last Jedi, he was an asshole.
That's the Yoda they chose to bring back.
So like. and it's good. But like then the siege, like it does have some good action.
It does.
Um,
Again, feels like
it's nice that it's like, oh, we're bringing back everybody from season 1. I like that.
yeah, they still exist. There's still it feels like stuff that would have been paid off later. Again, we find out what Baby Yoda was for. It was to create Snoke, and then they said that's actually not true, and so
Remind me, what is Cara Dune doing in this episode? Is she a sheriff?
she
of
is the
Republic?
Marshal of Navarro.
Oh, she's Marshal of Navarro.
She
Okay.
is small. She is not New Republic, and she gets promoted at the end of the episode.
Okay, gotcha.
Off screen.
Okay.
Clearly for Rangers, and that guy I hate who gets so much screen time, Carson Teva.
Plus, it's not the fault of the episode, but the episode does have the shot of the tube where the Snoke's lit.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then
yeah.
then it's totally retconned, perhaps, and
And,
that'll be re-retconned.
What's fucked up is watching, and we'll get there. But that episode, the finale, shows like the clip from that episode where Mando finds the clone tubes, and it shows the tube,
Yeah.
and it's so
And
clearly
Snoke's,
Snoke.
Snoke's theme plays, which to me is them tell. I
Like-
mean, they told you who it is.
What the?
It doesn't matter if a character doesn't have dialogue, because characters are not omnipotent. The show is, and the show told you it's Snoke. The captions say Snoke theme plays.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, so next up, wait, we happy with C for that one? It feels
Yeah.
good mean, but I want to like balance things out. Like,
Definitely. No, it's like C is like, yeah, it's whatever. If it's better, then it's good. If it's worse, it's bad. I kind of.
C, C is a boring B, a more boring B. I
Yeah.
think. The Jedi.
Everything I don't like about the Heiress is this more so.
Mm-hmm.
I did watch this one with my dad, and he doesn't know who the fuck Ahsoka Tano is, and he kind of watched The Mandalorian here and there, and then he saw lightsabers and he saw them cut up, and it says, Chapter 13, the Jedi, and he goes to me and Tommy, he's like, oh yeah, like now we're talking. So that, I'll always have a special place in my heart for that.
That is great.
But it is definitely the worst of the worst in terms of, like, to me, I knew exactly how the season was going to end, and we, it wasn't a secret. We talked about it many times. Of course, we thought the Jedi was Ezra, not Luke fucking Skywalker. Yeah, it's Dave Filoni. Not at his Filoniest. That's definitely the gunslinger. But he...
Yeah, there's this like...
Star Wars is East meets West. Well, he's got the East, he's got the West, he just doesn't have the meets part.
Yeah, it's like such... it's never been more like obvious, the East meets West, of like, here's
surface level.
Here's a samurai fight, and here is a Western showdown.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're not like set up
Not bad.
particularly well.
You're right.
And they're not like... It's not like integrated into the story very well.
No, it just happens.
It just kind of happens. And
There's
I feel
no
like this
elements of that.
It's so telling of like the limits of Filoni's abilities, where
Well
like
said.
we're just not we're not going to get anything other than surface stuff, even when it comes to like more complicated things beyond just characters or repeated shots. Like the most amount of like things he'll take away from like East meets West is a samurai showdown and a cowboy showdown. That's like the extent of what he can take away from a genre.
He has a lot of trouble with theming.
Yeah. He can't
His
like
themes are he has themes, which is actually a lot more than you can say about a lot of even just Mando, but a lot of Star Wars content, a lot of content in general. He does have a theme at the end of his show. And again, a theme is not to all the people who fucking review and like, oh yeah, the theme of Mando season 3 with unity. Unity's not a theme. Unity's a motif. A theme, it has to be a sentence, and it has to be like something you say, like X is good or X is bad. I mean, obviously you say
It's
better
about
than I
family.
just did. It's about family, and again, and that's what makes it so special.
Makes it so special.
And he will say like, I mean, I don't know what you'd say the theme is for this episode, but generally he does put that stuff in there. The Clone Wars opened up every episode with a quote. All the time I'm shitting on it though, I will say it's a good episode. It's a well done episode.
Yeah, it definitely.
Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?
It is very like. It's just kind of thrown, like the setup of everything besides Ahsoka is like just like thrown together. Like what was going on in the village?
Yeah, and why does they're needlessly cruel. They're Black Mirror characters where they're just cruel for no reason. Why does Mando side with Ahsoka? You know, it's like, kind of like something he decided he was going to do before the planet. And it's like
what was
the show is telling you he's doing it just because it's cool. He says they'll never see it coming.
What did he decide to do the town in the Marshall?
There was a crate dragon attacking it,
and it was eating their bantha.
Yeah, among others, among stuff. Also just being a danger. A general nuisance,
ruining their economy. Right. What was the problem of the village in the sanctuary?
Seems like they rang a bell, and once every night at midnight they'd sacrifice a human for no reason. I mean, we don't know. They don't tell you.
The sanctuary, the ATST.
Oh, sorry, raiders were attacking the sanctuary,
and they had an ATST
and they were plundering their resources, right. And they were violent and.
I think it's a bit complicated. In the Eris, it's not as clear either, but I think they're just raiding. There's not a problem to the village. It's just a problem of. No,
it seems like the village is the same
the Empire
as it was when it started. It's just Bo-Katan versus. I don't think that's the same type of episode.
But it's different.
It shouldn't have to have.
But the point, so with Navarro, it's a hive of scum and villainy full of bounty hunters who are all out for themselves. Right? We know this about it. And then in the Jedi, tell me anything at all about the village.
The magistrate is unnecessarily cruel, and she puts people on crosses, which is
in cages that electrocute them.
Sure,
right?
Help us.
She survived and let her anger fuel an industry which helped build the Imperial Starfleet. She plundered worlds, destroying them in the process.
Yeah, it looks like she's still in business.
When you were in the city, did you see any prisoners?
I saw 3 villagers strung up just outside the inner gate.
We must find a way to free them.
Yeah.
Anybody that speaks out against the magistrate, yes.
They don't say that though. She might just do it for fun. Maybe for food. There's no. I mean, again, I don't need to know the fucking lore reason.
No, but
it's
like
just
something.
The theming in the show. It's like why does Mando make the decisions he does? He was gonna side with Ahsoka Tano when he was on the Razor Crest. So why is it a big deal when he picks so they can have a cute little fight scene? You know.
Yeah.
What if her ideals are against his? I'm just.
He has that showdown with Michael Biehn, which I'm glad Michael Biehn gets a paycheck, but what is their rivalry there? I at least about the Ahsoka fight that there's a good amount of setup that it feels like there was a whole Ahsoka show that happened leading up to this.
Kind of, yeah.
Which I do like that.
The thing about Michael Biehn that I actually really liked is he goes, listen, this is not my fight. I'm just like you. I'm going to put the gun down and walk away. But then he's a bad guy. What if he did just walk away?
That would be funny.
Then Mando, that's an actual, thing that would happen, and he would be a contrast, and Mando, chooses to, fight the good fight.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's just a bad guy all along, and he tries to pull a sneaky little fast one on the Mandalorian, and it's it's yeah.
I think C's there because I enjoy it and the action more than the
Definitely,
Gunslinger.
it's definitely yeah. You definitely can watch it. The Gunslinger, it's not even entertaining to watch.
Entertaining to watch.
This is
We got the Boba Fett
definitely-
episode.
This is a complicated one.
Nothing happens. Actually, no, that's not true. Baby Yoda gets kidnapped. You know,
And Baby Yoda calls Luke through the Force,
I was looking for the Force.
but that's pretty minor. And it's like
closer.
it is like the most like bullshit, fan servicey, like doesn't make sense. The guy's dead, and like kind of Tamara Morrison showing up at the end of episode 1 is like almost forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
You can almost say it. You can almost ignore it. I mean, you can't, but and it's like. And yet it's so fucking like hype to watch.
It is super
so
hype. Also, the music.
Dun-ga-da-dung, 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 dun,
I mean, I hate to be that, that type of gal, but
it
it's
definitely
badass. It's
it
fucking
definitely
awesome.
makes me
Um,
fan. Everything I hate about people I criticize, I become that.
Yeah. It's pretty sick, and
The show does nothing to build him up. It's just purely based on what we already know. And we never get to see Boba Fett have a hallway scene.
I like that he's out in a new context though, because he's got the Tusken robes, and
It's funny because it does seem like it was
staff.
written after Boba Fett, or at least like.
Well,
like
I
a
think in
character
the same
Bible
way that it's
perspective.
kind of like the Ahsoka show. The Ahsoka episode is like, oh, there was a whole show of Ahsoka prior to this episode, and then this episode feels like there was a whole Boba Fett show prior to this episode.
Yeah.
And then we see it.
Yeah, the characters feel. I think a better way to say it is like the characters feel like.
They've been living their lives.
Yeah, I was gonna say lived in exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Doing stuff, which is great because even though Boba Fett is back in his armor and blah blah blah, he's not like Han Solo, like doing the same thing he was doing 40 years ago.
Yeah, he's doing like a totally different thing, and he has like a sense of honor, and you're like, I didn't know that about Boba
Yeah.
Fett. I mean, he's a total blank slate, obviously, and
yeah.
they took it and ran with it. Yeah, it's
He's got Fennec Shand with him, who does nothing. Man, I really wish
She
Fennec
gets a
Shand
check.
was a character, and unfortunately, she's just a.
I want to like her. I really want to like
Yeah,
her, and I even like the idea of her, and I like her with Boba Fett sometimes,
yeah.
except for when she's just recounting the plot. This is pure like junk food.
Yeah, it is. It's good junk food. I guess I would put it at like top of B or bottom of A.
It's definitely the most entertaining to watch of this like little section it's in.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would agree with you, and it's like it's not a badly done episode. The action is excellent. It's really well like shot and everything, and like if their attempt is to make Boba Fett look badass, they do it like very well. It's very well executed.
Which they had to set up that Boba Fett was a badass for the next episode. And the rest of the
Where he
season.
does nothing, yeah.
Where he does a little
nothing.
bit, and
Where
then he does nothing.
No, he does nothing. He drops them off and then picks them up, and then in the next one he drops them off and picks them up. And a ship, One of my favorite memes of this episode is it's Tython in The Mandalorian. What is it? Chapter 14, and it's just a picture of a parking lot. Because this is supposed to be this like remote planet where Baby Yoda talks to Luke, and there's the Razor Crest, there's 2 Imperial ships, there's the Slave One, the Moff Gideon's ship shows up, and it's like there's like a million people here.
That was funny. Plus it has the Razor Crest blowing up, saving the Razor Crest from being in any bad Mandalorian episodes.
Can we get the camera on that?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say move the camera before you move the giant Razor Crest. There's a Razor Crest in here. Oh my God! Hand for scale. It's very large.
Sick this thing is. I do love the Razor Crest. It's awesome. It's a big old bus.
Again, is it awesome because it looks really cool? It looks good.
Yeah.
Or is it awesome because a lot of things happen?
It's awesome because it gets
And you get to know
stuck
it
on
with
an
the
ice
story.
planet full of spiders, full of knobby white tree spiders.
It's not awesome because It's just the perfect.
It's
design.
awesome because Bobby Moynihan is like probably won't make it back for Life Day this year, I guess, when he sees the.
Isn't it Bobby Moynihan?
It's not Bobby Moynihan. It's the other guy. It's another SNL guy.
Oh.
And
Who's
he's
also
like,
in
yeah,
it.
probably won't make it back for Life Day this year. And then it reveals Mando's right next to him. He says, probably not, and shoves him into the covered breathing chamber. Great fucking man, yeah.
Starting off your like
This is a good.
no, starting off your Western, gunslinger Star Wars revival show with a fucking Bobby Moynihan-esque character is not a good way to get on my good side.
No, but probably not. Oh man, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff. Believer. Oh,
Easy
man.
yes, easy yes, so much
yes.
so that you gotta take one out.
Fine. I was
So good.
yeah. I think it's great. I think,
I mean, talk about an episode that has a theme.
yeah.
It's doing a lot. You have like
Look, if you were born on Mandalore, you believe one thing. If you're born on Alderaan, you believe something else.
I'm
But
struggling
guess
to
what?
articulate
Neither one
it,
of
but
them
like
exist anymore.
his old belief in the Mandalorian shit reflects Bill Burr's and the Empire, and
Bill Burr is somebody that left a cult, and Mando is somebody that is like on the edge of leaving a cult.
definitely.
And then it culminates in him. It doesn't culminate in a big firefight. It culminates in him taking off his helmet in order to do this.
Yeah,
In order to save somebody that he cares about.
and and at the same time, who has the arc in this episode? It's not really Mando necessarily. It's Bill Burr.
Everybody's got their lines they don't cross until things get messy. As far as I'm concerned, if you can make it through your day and still sleep at night, you're doing better than most. We all need to sleep at night.
Like jeopardizes everything because he puts his principles first.
Well, I think even there's an argument to be made that Bill Burr goes through like the same arc of like at the beginning he's like nothing fucking matters. Like you can say this matters and this matters, but at the end of the day the galaxy keeps on spinning,
But
and then he's
but
reminded of like
it does matter.
it does fucking matter. And you know what you should do in the galaxy? Shoot Nazis.
Yeah, you should fight for what's right.
You should murder Nazis who are bragging about their genocides. Absolutely. And it's so good because at the same time that Mando's like reaching this culmination of like I gotta like maybe I should be taking my helmet off. Maybe there are things more important to me than my oath. Maybe there are things more important to Bill Burr than just surviving.
Yeah.
Just living through another day. He could he would have been he shooting that officer that was like a near death sentence.
Yeah, 100%.
Like he clearly had made his
He put everything on he was gonna go out.
put everything on the line for that, which is fucking awesome.
And you get to know the character and his acting is really good.
Yeah, really good.
And everybody
The acting of the Imperial officer is really good. I like that character.
everybody's been praising Mon Mothma and Andor, who is good. And Andor, of course, is the best show of all time. But they've been oh, her acting is so good, and it's really not. I mean, I think what they're saying is it's fine. I think what they're saying is they like the dialogue and they like how the story's playing out. But everyone, I remember because everyone discussed the episode, and Mandalorian goes up to Cardoon. He's like, I need you to grab me a New Republic prisoner. His name is Bill Burr. And everyone was like, oh God, he's going to be back. And it's and they obviously knew that would be he's weird and out of place, but they're going to take that. They're going to make it something really special.
Yeah. I think the only thing that would keep it below the other two is that some of the setups, plot setups, are a bit contrived. I don't really understand why he had to show his face. He had to show his face to register in the...
If you get scanned and your genetic signature shows up on any New Republic register, you're going to be detected.
and his gun's out. In order to access the network, the terminal has to scan your face.
I like that.
I like that he had to, but
I like that he had to, especially because he showed his face like when he had to. He really had no other choice but to show his face. That was the only way he could do what he had to do.
Right,
and then the next episode comes along. He doesn't have to show his face. He does it because he wants Baby Yoda to see his face, and it's a good like natural progression.
Mm-hmm. I guess the thing is that with the Believers, that there's not as like stuff like the pirates show up, and I'm not really sure what their deal is.
They
really
sparked the conversation of like, you know, if you're from one planet, you hate the Empire. If you're from one, I actually would put this above The Prisoner. I mean, you don't have to change it for the tier list, but me personally, I would put this above. Yeah, I think I would put this above The Prisoner.
I think because it does.
I agree. The fight goes on too long.
In the moment it happens, it's it's so good for, especially like so far into the series.
Yeah.
Like it kind of moves things.
So good into the series, and like it kind of could be. You could kind of put this anywhere in the season or in the series.
No, I think this has to be like later on because of like Mando taking the helmet off.
Well, for that, sure. But for like Bill Burr's like kind of art, like it's a timeless story anywhere. I mean, yeah, a lot of stuff. Mando taking the helmet off and like him coming to that point in his journey where is he going to stay with the Mandalorians? Is he not? He's kind of realizing that they don't have all the answers. Oh no, just kidding. He's going to go back in season 3 and it's all going to be a waste of time. I also like when the chips are down and like they're gonna die, and then all of a sudden the bad guys save them, like the stormtroopers and the TIE fighter, and you're like, yes!
Oh yeah,
and you're like, oh no, what am I doing?
It's such a great.
This is a very funny tier list.
Yeah, it's
very top heavy, which
nobody hates.
It's about to change, and how?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is also like, you know, I think before season 3 would come out, a lot of these like shift upwards. Like I would change this to like S plus S A B C.
Definitely,
like it
definitely.
Before season 3, I would move all of these up one tier.
Yeah, I would agree. And it all was for nothing. All right, the rescue.
Controversial one, the rescue. I'm gonna put it just here, just for now. We're at the rescue. This is the finale of season 2, which has all the people that he met, you know, a lot of people that he met coming together to work together to like free Baby Yoda. You want him to get Baby Yoda. Moff Gideon, great villain. The Dark Troopers, well set up and scary because they, you know, they're fucking.
Yeah, Dark Troopers are really good villains. Really well set up.
We got like, all these people working together to do this. Like it's a similar finale to season 1, but a grander scale. That's what you want to do. And like the stakes are higher because now he doesn't have. It's not just protecting Baby Yoda. He has to like go and get and save
almost I mean, it's not in that, but almost like a race against the clock.
Yeah. And so, like, and then there's a lot more complicated things with, like, different motivations, like Bo-Katan wanting the Darksaber versus him wanting...
Exactly.
You know, so, that's all great. I think it would be a bit better if Boba Fett was there, too, but I guess...
Yeah, they could have, because they have the scene where he's fighting with them, and he's the best line in Star Wars, in The Mandalorian, at least.
Oh, yeah.
And
when he's fighting Bo-Katan and Koskari.
Mandalorian number 5. And he said, you know, your armor, like, don't you mean your donor? And he goes, careful, princess, which is already awesome. And he's like, oh, you're a clone, you know, you're just one of them. I've heard your voice 1,000 times. And he goes, mine just might be the last one you hear. And you're like, oh, it's Boba Fett. He's so cool. I'm sorry for peeking the mic every time I yell. But yeah, you could have that more drawn out, and maybe that could culminate in a sort of it. And it's just very obvious that the reason fucking British guy ex-Woves wasn't in it and Boba Fett wasn't in it is so they could have a girl power scene.
Yeah, which it's a girl power scene. Like you don't realize it's really a girl power scene
until later. It's totally 100% only because it's in Endgame.
Yeah,
It's done way better, which I always like when Star Wars
Yeah.
does something better than Marvel, because I just...
and then it's done the best in The Boys.
It's definitely done the best in The Boys. It's done the best in The Boys right when they parody it, and then it actually comes back in the end.
Yeah.
In a great way.
And what do they do in The Boys? They fucking kick the shit out of a Nazi.
Yeah.
All the best episodes of TV is when you're fucking killing Nazis. But then it's like
Luke Skywalker shows up, and I mean,
they beat Moff Gideon, but they haven't.
it
they
ends
don't
on
have
the
a way.
perfect way to end a season finale when there's more season coming. This story is going to be awesome. I love the way they're going with this. It's a new story.
Well,
What's
hold
done
on,
is
hold on.
done.
We gotta go back here a
Yeah.
little bit, because what is crazy to me is they set up like, okay, we've got the Dark Troopers here. Now, what could we possibly, like, this is their darkest moment. What could we do to, like, get out of this? Like, there's no way for us to beat this. We need to think of some way to get out of it. And then we'll be dead. Like, it's Deus Ex. It's Jedi Ex Machina. Like, it is
Something that wasn't pre-established.
like it is pre-established, I guess, because they called for a Jedi to come. But it's just
yeah.
it
The shock value is so hard to get over, especially in modern day
Yeah.
context where Luke Skywalker doesn't look
I
like
couldn't
that.
help feeling like it was undermining everything that episode had set up
Definitely was.
as a threat. That it was just like, okay, and like what?
The episode is really, really good without it.
Yeah,
And apparently there were 8 Dark Troopers and they all got sucked in the airlock because they never show up again.
yeah. Yeah. Put a pin in the Dark Troopers. We gotta come back to that later, because that is fucking God. I would rather have 1 million more Dark Troopers for Luke Skywalker to fight through than season 3.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Maybe that's why season 3 sucked, because there were no Dark Troopers, so he was just doing what he had.
It's a huge mixed bag, but I think honestly where I put it at the bottom of B might be where it belongs. Maybe
The highs are high.
above Jawas and the Heiress.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. The highs are high, and like, there's a good episode in there for sure. There's a great episode in there.
Yeah.
Because
like it is doing what the first finale does.
and I
just
mean
that like
that end is so perfect because, oh, you thought like you beat Moff Gideon. He's always one step ahead.
Mhm.
You fool. This is, I don't know if it's necessarily what he wanted. He doesn't really express that, but
In order for her to wield the Darksaber again, she would need to defeat you in combat.
I yield. It's yours.
Oh, no. It doesn't work that way.
it's like now you've got another problem because
Yeah.
Bo-Katan wanted that Darksaber, and we've got a good season ahead where you two are gonna wait. What? Oh, instead nothing happens. Okay.
Oh, you want nothing to happen? Oh, you want to undo that? And the other thing, you want to undo the other thing from the finale? Oh, and the other thing, you also want to undo that.
All right, hold on. I just want it live on stream. I got a great predict season 4 episode 1.
Okay.
They fixed the Darksaber.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna offer a counter, an alternative. They don't fix it. They're the second Darksaber.
When Moff Gideon cloned himself, he cloned himself with the Darksaber, so all the clones come back, and they all have the Darksaber.
Holy shit!
When it's like it scans him, it goes and
Holy
it gets the dark.
shit.
You know, I think it's worth noting that he takes his helmet off at the end, which by the way is a fantastic ending.
That is great.
Not the Luke part, but him. It's the way you
Takes it
end
off
that
solely
story,
just to look at Baby Yoda.
and so
in the-
Baby
in
Yoda
the
can
eyes.
see his face.
Oh,
And, I said, because in Boba Fett they say, "Oh, you're no longer Mandalorian." I said in season 3, episode 1, they will fix that problem in the first episode. And I was one episode off from fixing the second one. It was literally an episode off, which I can't believe they had the restraint to wait a whole
it's
episode.
crazy. It is crazy. Also, it's crazy to me that this tier list of Mandalorian episodes doesn't include the 2 episodes of Book of Boba Fett.
I know. Where would you? All right, so this would be the time to rank them. Where would you put them?
I'll put the first one in A and the second one in F.
Definitely second one in F for sure. Especially if we're just talking about the Mandalorian parts. It's as F as it comes.
Look, the wide world exists in balance. Feel the Force all around you. Through the Force, you will find balance as well. Have you heard anyone talk like that?
The first one is like, because at that
It
point
has to be below. It's not even funny.
At that point in Book of Boba Fett,
Kenobi.
At that point in Book of Boba Fett, we had finished the Tusken flashbacks, and so we were more in just the like modern times, which were a bit more, which were just more boring, than Tusken flashbacks. So the Mandalorian was a bit of a fresh air.
Definitely injected some life into it, and
I like the scene on the Halo ring.
I love the scene where love the scene. I like when Fennec Shand was like, "Oh, I've got a job for you," and he's like, "Boba, tell him it's on the house." And it's like, oh, these characters know each other and they interact like they know each other, and they've had adventures before. Of course, the Mandalorian would support Boba Fett because he helped him get Baby Yoda back.
Yeah. Well, his friend did. I guess no, he did. He helped him out.
He pledges. He basically offered Fennec. He's like, I can give you the best thing I got. Fennec Shand.
I'll give you my
no
woman.
questions asked. Yeah, you would put the one in A. One thing that bugged me is it's a show about Boba Fett, and they're like, oh, we're gonna do a spin-off on it's the one time that the Bad Batch did something better, where like you're gonna take. It's called Boba Fett. You're gonna have one episode about a different character. That's interesting. You pick the Mandalorian, like, can we do better than that? Like, he already has his own show. Bad Batch had an episode about.
This is a spin-off from that show
about Hera, right?
Why would you?
So that was a little disappointing. I would have liked to see.
Isn't it Boba Fett has 3 lines of the course of those 2 episodes? Like I think he has.
He has no lines in the first one, and he has 1 line.
Yeah.
In the next one, and he says something like, "Oh, I need to be here with my people," and it's like he's not in the first one.
Yeah.
He's not in it. Period.
No, you're right.
And then he shows up, and it's like, there he is. It's Boba Fett.
When Boba Fett shows up in the Book of Boba Fett.
I want to tell you about someone you remind me of a great deal. His name was Yoda. He was small like you, but his heart was huge, and the Force was strong in him. He once said to me, "Size matters not." That's how he talked. He could speak in riddles.